Hey guys, working on this GTLE 2002 Seadoo. Been working on it for a while, rebuilt the motor. Going through the carburetor now, and I want to show you something. I wanted to prime the carburetor before I hooked it up, make sure I had fuel coming to me, coming to the feed line here. So right now I got a pump hooked to it. I just want to show you something. We got this little 12-volt inline pump. Anyhow, I'm gonna just show you here. I'm gonna cut it on. It goes to pumping good fuel immediately. No problems, good flow. A few air bubbles, but not many. Like I say, it's probably it'll pump. As you see there, it's starting to clear up, so it's priming and holding pressure, which is what you want to look for. But I'm gonna show you what I found once I hooked, because I wanted to hook the feed line to the end line, and then I wanted to hook my pump to the exit here, so I could prime the carburetor. I could pull fuel through the carburetor and get it completely primed. That way I wouldn't have to spin the motor over so much and wear the starter out to get it primed and get things, get the fuel flowing. So let me show you what I found. I have to swap it out, but give me just a second and I'll show you what my problem is. All right, I took my my primed fuel feed line, which is right here, and I hooked it to the carb. Now I'm going to take the same hose from my pump, move my pump so I got some, and I'm going to hook it to the return line. Take a second, get it hooked up. And you see that line's super tight. So that's good and tight, so it's not coming off. So what I want to do at this point is to pull my fuel through my carburetor to help prime it, get everything moving and get everything primed. So I know that I'm getting fuel to that point if I start running into problems. So this is what I found. So there again, I got my pump hooked up. Now I want you to pay attention to the flow of, and pay attention to the flow of this fuel when I cut the pump on. That sputtering and spitting, that won't prime. See that? It's getting a little bit better, but you're still not getting the flow you got. But let me show you why. See all those air bubbles? That tells me my carb. That tells me that my carb has a priming issue. That somewhere in the carb, I'm catching air, and I don't know where that is. I'm gonna have to take the carb back off and look at it and go through it again. But I know I had fresh, strong, primed fuel to my inlet hose. And then when I hooked the pump to my return or exit hose, going back to my tank, I get all of these air bubbles. Like, it's just crazy. See all the air bubbles in there? Just worse. See all the air bubbles? It should not be that way. So that tells me that the carburetor's catching air somewhere. So it's a good test to do when you're priming your systems, or if you're having carb problems. The reason why I pulled this carb off was because it wouldn't run right. I rebuilt the carb, a different carb actually. Run it, it wouldn't run right. I adjusted everything, double checked the rebuild 2 or 3 times. Everything was perfect on it. I swapped carbs to this one. Began my priming system, or began to prime the system to get it right. And I ran into this issue. So that tells me that this carb has an issue. So I'm gonna go back with the other carb or fix this one. But I swapped carbs thinking that my issue was the carb. And now doing this, I realized that my issue is not the carb. My issue is, well, it's the carb, but it also is catching air somewhere. I went through and tightened all my lines up, all my clamps up, and now I'm narrowed it down to this carb. So just a quick way to learn, or to find part of your problem, is to do your prime checks. Like I said, I wanted to pull prime to make sure that the system was holding, and it was holding very good on my feed line. So I know my fuel system from the tank to the end of this feed line is good. But through the carb, I'm having an issue. So just want to kind of give you a heads up. Maybe word of the wise, you can possibly learn something from the way I did this time. Like I said, I checked my fuel system, so I know I can isolate it because I have good fuel pressure and it's holding prime to the end of my feed hose. But once I hook that hose up and then change my pump to the return, that I'm catching all this air. So once I find it, I'll let you know. But just a word of the wise, maybe use this technique to possibly find some of your fuel issues. This machine there would run right catching that much air. It won't even prime the system good enough to pump the carb up. The carb actually has a external pump that I can pump to help prime it, and it won't even draw fuel to that point. So I know that's my issue.